In the heart of Whispering Woods lived a bear named Barnaby. While other bears craved honey, Barnaby's one true love was berries. His cozy den wasn't just a home, it was a pantry filled with the sweet treasures of the forest. One morning, Barnaby padded out to his most cherished patch basket in paw, only to find it empty. Not a single ruby red or sapphire blueberry remained. A worried frown creased his furry brow. A day without berries was a very gloomy day indeed. Determined not to let his tummy rumble in vain, Barnaby set off on a quest. He ventured deeper into the woods than ever before, his nose twitching, searching for a new patch to call his own. Just as his hope began to fade, he stumbled upon a secret place, a hidden meadow, buzzing with life and painted in the brilliant colors of 1,000 wildflowers. It was beautiful, but to his dismay, there wasn't a single berry bush to be seen, and in the middle of this floral sea was a tiny, fuzzy bee dancing from blossom to blossom. She worked with a quiet determination, unaware that a very large and very hungry bear was watching. Barnabas' empty stomach made him grumpy. "Aha," he grumbled to himself. "It's these bees. They must be hoarding all the sweetness for themselves, leaving none for the berries." His logic, fueled by hunger, was terribly flawed. With a huff, Barnaby let out a frustrated roar that echoed across the meadow. It wasn't a mean roar, but it was enough to startle the little bee, who stopped her work and zipped around to face the grumpy giant. "You there?" rumbled Barnaby. "What have you done with all the berries?" Beatrice, though small, was brave. She zipped back and forth, her buzz a series of sharp questions. She had no idea what this big bear was talking about. Instead of flying away, Beatrice did something unexpected. She began to dance in the air, leading Barnabas' eyes from a bright yellow sunflower to a soft pink clover. "We don't take the sweetness," she seemed to buzz. "We share it. We help the flowers so they can make your berries." She showed him the golden dust that clung to her legs. She explained, in her own buzzy way, that this was pollen, the secret ingredient that allowed flowers to create the seeds and fruits the entire forest depended on. Barnaby sat down with a soft thump. He had never thought about it before. The flowers weren't the end of the story. They were the beginning. He realized the bees weren't his rivals. They were the forest's tiny, tireless gardeners. A blush of embarrassment crept under his fur. He had let his grumbling tummy get the better of him. "I'm sorry, little bee," he said softly, his voice a low rumble. "I was wrong to blame you." Beatrice, whose name meant "she who brings happiness," buzzed softly and landed on his paw. She could sense the sincerity in his voice. She accepted his apology with a wiggle of her antennae. Then, Beatrice zipped into the air and beckoned him. She had something to show him, a secret that would make everything clear. Intrigued, Barnaby followed the tiny guide, his heavy paws surprisingly light. She led him over the crest of the hill, and Barnaby gasped. Below them lay a sight more wonderful than he could have ever imagined. The valley was a patchwork of green bushes, each one drooping under the weight of the biggest, juiciest berries Barnaby had ever seen. This, Beatrice buzzed, was the result of their hard work in the meadow next door. Overjoyed, Barnaby began to gather the feast. He thanked Beatrice and her family, understanding now that their work made his happiness possible. He wasn't just taking berries. He was receiving a gift. He sat and ate his fill, the sweet juice dribbling down his chin. But this time, it tasted even sweeter, for it was flavored with gratitude and a newfound friendship. He even offered a taste to his tiny friend. From that day on, Barnaby became the protector of the meadow. He made sure no one trampled the flowers and that his friends, the bees, could work in peace. He understood that looking after them meant looking after himself. For Barnaby learned that the sweetest treasures in the forest aren't just found on bushes, but in understanding that even the biggest and the smallest creatures depend on each other. And that, he decided, was the most wonderful discovery of all. Good night, bear, good bee. Thanks for your listening, and subscribe for more stories.